Cypher Cesshun.
And I'm Cass on the beat.
H-Town from the ground.
Hubbard, Houston, Texas representative. Wow,
H-Town from the ground. Wait, H-Town. Quote what I say.
Well, shit. I mean, I started rapping in middle school, and pretty much I started with my boy Roosh Williams, who's another super badass MC in Houston, Texas. And you know, me and him always had a love for rap music, and we were both, you know, really had a strong attraction to writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both like to write, and we both saw hip hop as a way to really facilitate that love. And you know, me and him have been side by side this entire time. And so I mean, shit, I've been doing this for about 10 years, since I was in middle school, next to him, you know, and we're both solo artists, but, you know, that's like my family, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just been a long road, you know what I mean?
Think we ever had to lean on. Hold up, man, I got this shit. Reppin' where the Rockets live. Fuck around and drown in my purple stream of consciousness. We got the future right up in our fucking pockets, bitch. And it takes more than 97 on the box of sin. They like reminding me that I don't fit the archetype, but don't get twisted off the image on me, cause my heart is right.
I mean, I'm a Houston artist, you know, I was born and raised in Houston. But something that I hear all the time, and I know it to be 100% true, is I don't sound like a Houston rapper. And I wouldn't say that's deliberate, you know, but I think there's some truth to that, just based on the stereotypes that have been placed on Houston and its sound. You know, I think a Houston rapper is a dude from Houston that raps, but, you know, that's a different argument. But that song was completely looking at the stereotypes, addressing them, and telling you I don't fit into that. You know, but that does not mean that I'm not a Houston rapper, because I'm a rapper from Houston, so I'm a Houston rapper by definition. You know, and I love my city. I love Houston. I've never lived anywhere else for an extended amount of time. I tried school, and then I came back. You know, so I've been in Houston my entire life. I'm almost 25. For 25 years of my life, I've been in Houston. So with that said, I don't like to be told I'm not a Houston rapper, and that song was just like, fuck you. You know, I'll sound the way I'll sound. That doesn't matter. I'm a Houston rapper, and this is why.
In the game, and these lames getting paid, trying to mimic what we made. Diss us and say we lazy, then try to flip it the same. They ain't even paying homage, knowing we did it first. Chopping slow in every verse, and never on that AstroTurf. Rest in peace of Screw, my disc jockey wouldn't have played that. Disrespect my city, bitch, and it'll get rockin' ASAP.
And then it features Formel F Dot, who's one of my favorite MCs in the city, like, hands down, bar none, one of my favorite MCs in the city. Like, I remember hearing him, I saw him live, and I was just like, fuck, this dude is good. It made me feel like a novice, you know, and when someone can make you feel like that, you know they're the shit. So that song was, and he's a lot like me. He's a rapper from Houston that doesn't really fit the mold that, you know, whoever made that exists, and that's why I wanted to bring him in on that. And the video was just like, you know, we're just stomping around in our city. We're being who we are in our city, and there's nothing you can do, because this is our city just like it's your city. So fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
To doing business, you can make a masterpiece, but that don't mean you make a living. Witness all the dues I paid and tell me I ain't due for pay. I know you gotta lose the game, but this shit's getting too insane. But fuck it, I ain't tripping over reaching in the dark, because the weakness of the heart put all the strength into my art, so I'm a geek.
Tomorrow in Retrospect was an EP. It was 6 songs long, and it was like really the start of me trying to actually get a hold of my voice and who I thought I was as a rapper. It wasn't perfect back then, but it was starting to really come to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was starting to find out who Kyle Hubbard the rapper was, and rectifying that with the person that Kyle Hubbard is, you know what I'm saying? That's where that started. And I'm really proud of that project, you know, like, I think I've come a long way since that project, but I'm proud of it. It features K. Reno, Houston icon, and somebody, you know, in Houston that I definitely look up to for the, you know, the strong lyricism. It also featured Big Pooh from Little Brother, which was awesome because, you know, I grew up on Little Brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember very vividly jamming Little Brother all the time, so to have a song with one of those guys is just, you know, for whatever it's really worth, what it's worth to me is just kind of a dream come true. So, Tomorrow in Retrospect was a really, truly my jumping off point. One Time, Two Times is actually a single that we released from You're Not That Special. There was a long lull where I was not doing a lot except for trying to get better in between Tomorrow in Retrospect and You're Not That Special. And I think when you listen to the projects, you can see that the quality of where I am now is leaps and bounds where I was then. And the reason it took so long, Tomorrow in Retrospect came out December 2010, with You're Not That Special in March 2012. And that whole time, I wasn't slacking. I was really just putting myself through it, trying to become a lot better, you know. So that's where I was during that, like, that black period. Like, I was just writing shit, ripping it up, writing it again, ripping it up. I was, you know, I was going through it. You know, suicide drills, you know, I was trying to get a lot better than I was, and I think I did.
I mean it every minute that I mean it. If you with it, let a motherfucking know. I'm about to get it how I get it, though they try to tell you different. You should know there ain't no glory on the road.
You're Not That Special was definitely like, it was a much bigger movement in every single aspect, from the creation process and to the feedback it got and the press that it got me. You're Not That Special is truly like, you know, that's like my masterpiece at the moment. Like I say, that year that I was like, you know, just like trying to find myself, you know, it really was just like a breakdown process, you know what I'm saying? Like I was working a part-time job, I was struggling, I wasn't making any kind of moves on the music front. It was just like, you know what? I'm not that special. And I had to come to that realization to really be able to take the leap, you know what I'm saying? And I think everybody has to go through that at some point. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and say you're not that special, because you're not. And then if you can't do that, then you can't do anything.
But you ain't got the nerve to fire first. You can see, but dog, you blind if you don't use your eyes to search. You get a little time on earth, it's up to you to find its worth. I'm not concerned of what you earn, it's nothing once we lie in dirt.
Just Breathe that's the first song on You're Not That Special, and that was like, there a lot inspired that, you know, like, there's a lot of like real personal shit in that, you know what I mean, and really, I guess if I had to say what really inspired it, if I had to pinpoint it, it'd just be like this complete frustration, you know what I'm saying, like in pretty much a lot of aspects of my life, that's just kind of like my, like, banging my fist on the table, just like, fuck, you know, just like, fuck, you know what I mean, you know, that's where I was, and that's where that song came from, and there's a lot of weight, and there's a lot of places and a lot of moments in my life that were pulled from to make that song happen. And yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. I think that's one of the best songs I've ever done, and I think the second verse on that song is my best verse. I honestly do, and I love that verse, and I'm super hard on myself, and I'm hard pressed to be like, I love that when I made it, but that verse, like, knowing like all that it went through and all the hell I put that verse through, is my favorite verse, and I love it. And I think that if I had to be like, this is the 16 to sell me, if I can't move you with this, then I can't do anything. It would be the second verse on track 1 of You're Not That Special, Just Breathe. Yeah, there's a lot of weight in that song. A lot of weight.
With this well aware that hell is here and we may have to die to live. Pistol grip inside a fist, a heart of fear to fire it. A broken home provided it, a nation wielded not a shit. The sky is gonna fall once you look up. The children of the wealthy using silver spoons to cook up. So good luck.
I'm on the social networks. I'm on Twitter at Kyle Hubbard HTX. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com/Kyle Hubbard HTX. And I mean, you can really get at me at those at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to talk to people. I like to share ideas, and you know, I enjoy a good conversation. So, you know, get at me. You know, and that's also the best way to access my music. You can also Google me. If you just want to get straight to the music, you can Google me. Google Kyle Hubbard, You're Not That Special. It's available online through various outlets, so widely available. I'm easy to access, and my music is easier to access. So please do.
Breathe, just breathe, young boy, just breathe. Just breathe, young girl, just. And honestly, I try my very best to be a decent man, to reach my hand to those in need and plant my seeds on peaceful land. By the time you reach the end, you have to learn to let it go. I don't have faith, I bear the weight of all the